Hello, everybody. Welcome to our Business Breakthrough Google Hangout. It's our weekly training event here, our weekly Business Breakthrough Google Hangout, and I'm speaking to you and coming to you live from our international office in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada. And for those of you that are coming into the next one-day intensive, and there's a lot of you from all over the world. I really look forward to meeting you. I've been meeting some unbelievable entrepreneurs who want to come to the Canadian Lake Home or one-day intensive, not boot camps. They're not seminars. They're not conferences. They're intensives, and they're an accelerated boot camp because I look at boot camps, I guess, from the standpoint of athletics, and boot camps are usually just something to get somebody into shape quickly, whereas intensives or the kind of training that I do is all built and on previous training. So I like to bring people, and part of accelerated learning is that you just don't dump business acceleration processes on people, but there is a teaching and accelerated teaching and learning component behind it. Because again, I believe the number one way that we learn today is modeling. So today I want to model for you how to optimize your Google Hangouts. This is important from the standpoint of building influence, creating greater leverage for your own business, and providing you the kind of traction with your own online media show without having to invest heavily in what most people do to build a media presence. There are a number of different benefits and advantages for having Google Hangouts. My money is on two important business tools or systems for growing your company, and that is LinkedIn and Google Hangouts. And so I want to spend today spending some time with you, and I'm going to, there'll be an opportunity for you to get a report that we've created for you in order to help you build and optimize your own Google Hangouts in as little as 10 minutes. I do a lot of Google Hangouts. We've done in the neighborhood, man, I would say probably 250 in the last year, and just unbelievable if you know what you're doing and the kind of leverage and the kind of influence that you can create without having to fly places. As I shared with my oldest son's class, I was invited by his teacher in their entrepreneurship class to come in. I was voted the #1 entrepreneur. I think my son just did a really good job of selling what I do personally. But anyways, I came in and I spoke to them about how to start and grow your company in the fastest time possible. And one of the concepts that I shared with them is I asked them how many people have heard of Google Hangouts. And I was expecting most kids to have heard of them, and only 2 hands went up. And this is a pretty, affluent area. The kids have, they use a lot of tools, very business-minded class because a lot of their parents have businesses, etc. But so surprised only 2 kids in the class have heard of Google Hangouts, besides my son. So I think it's important that my kids know what I do. And so my son, I guess I've done an okay job modeling because he didn't know what a Google Hangout was. In fact, my son knows how to create them, etc. So I want to spend a little bit of time today. It's going to be detail-y. And then at the end of our training here, I'm going to give you access to a free report that we've created for you on how to optimize your first impression and make it a good one. Because if you know the power of Milgram's Law, let me just write it out here for you. Milgram's Law. And Milgram's Law says the following. It really refers to the power of creating massive influence in your marketplace. You literally have as little as 1 second to be positioned as as an authority in your marketplace. So the Milgram's Law, and more formally, Milgram's Law says this: that in an overcrowded marketplace, the marketplace will blindly believe the words of an expert. The marketplace will blindly believe the words of an expert. And that leads to our second law of influence that we teach our clients to leverage, and that is Zipf's law. And Zipf's law says this, that in an overcrowded marketplace, your market will choose the company or person perceived to be on top. So we want to be able to leverage tools and systems to create strategic positioning for our companies, to position us not just as an authority within our website, within our marketplace, whether it's your website, whether it's your personal brand. And we spent some time on a previous training event talking about the importance of building your personal brand and your company brand, but also in standing out in today's marketplace, you've got to know how to use these tools and these systems. In Google Hangouts, you know, all of you can create a Google Hangout very easily. Our goal, though, today is to talk about optimizing a Google Hangout so that your influence starts in your own home court. You know, there's a concept called home court advantage, right? And it's really big in sports. And what home court advantage is, and I think all of you probably know what that is, right? That invariably the team who is at home has an advantage over the team who's traveling or is the road team. So home court advantage is huge in sports, and I want to help you today get your own home court advantage at home. And one of the tools and systems that you definitely want to optimize is a Google Hangout. Why? Because you can repurpose the content from Google Hangouts. You can get the YouTube link and leverage that on your blog. You can use other tools and systems to syndicate your Google Hangouts like we do across Facebook, on our Google Hangout, our Business Breakthrough Google Hangout site, newgurumodel.com/hangout, etc. So there are all kinds of reasons why, and not only that, but when you've got a lot of great content, like my clients do, you want to be able to teach and instruct others and educate to dominate, right? And that's the name of the game. And the advisory age is educate to dominate. So you want to write that down. And you remember I showed you the power of educate to dominate meets speed to market. And we talked about building your competitive advantage zones on a previous Google Hangout a few weeks ago. And I showed you that you want to focus on the black zone, which is creating your moat. You remember, get up above the line of profitability as quickly as possible. And that's why you want to position and have high-end programs and services, and then do what other people aren't doing, like through coaching and co-branding or Mastermind Monetizer. And those are some of the systems that we're going to teach and show clients how to do them at the one-day business acceleration intensive that I'm doing at the Canadian Lake Home. So that you can really move into the yellow zone, which is the zone of true and pure business acceleration. So, and stay out of the red zone. Okay, so if you missed that Google Hangout, you want to go back the last couple, get yourself caught up, because you definitely want to understand the power behind that. All right. So let's move forward here. What I want to do first of all is I'm going to show you our G+ page, and this is our Google Hangout page. The left side, and setting up your Google Hangouts right here by hitting this drop down button, you can set up a public Google Hangout, and you'll set up a public Google Hangout if you've never done it before through your events. So there'll be a thing here down here, sorry, called events. And sorry, I just I just needed to turn off my cell phone here so I wasn't being derailed here in my concentration. I apologize for that. I should have. I normally do when I didn't hear yet. So that drop down menu here, set up event. You can set up a public Google Hangout, and you can record the public the Hangout. The problem with this side is it's public. All right. So you got to remember that whatever you record over here is public. Over here on the right side, this is your private. So I could invite, you see Ivana here, Ivana, really nice meeting you. Judy, I need to add you to my circles. These are two people that are coming to the Canadian Lake Home, Judy Hoberman, one day. And these are people that know me, and using the power that we use through our, one of our systems of connecting with people is through our digital magazine, Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine. So these people here I need to add. So Ivana and Judy, you're on here. Really look forward to seeing you at the Canadian Lake Home. But if I were to set up a private Google Hangout with either of them, I could set it up over here on the right side. of G+. So this is plus.google.com. The only negative side on the private side, or the thing that bothered me the most using private Google Hangouts, is you can't record them. So if I were doing one-on-one mentoring or a consulting call with a client, and I like them to be able to see me, so the problem with this is I couldn't get it recorded. Now, on our next Google Hangout, I'm going to show you how to backdoor and do a private Google Hangout and get it recorded, and very few people know how to do this. And this is really powerful. So I just wanted to highlight this here for you. The left side is the public side for doing Google Hangouts. So like for all of you who are on our Google Hangout today, we set it up on the left side of G+. Setting up private Google Hangouts is on the right side. Problem with the right side is you can't get a recording on the right side. So there's a way of backdooring it, and I'm going to show you how to do that on another training event. You're going to want to know how to do this, and most people are blown away when they see this. So I want to show you that, so you don't want to miss when we cover the second part of optimizing Google Hangouts. Okay, so let's move forward here. I'm going to take you through material, and I'm going to disappear and come back off and on. And this is our special report, Optimize Your Google Hangout, Tips for Setting Up Your Google Hangout Video Room. All right, so what you see right here is my video room. All right, this is in our international office. I'm not using backdrop. I'm not using a green screen or anything like that. You get some amazing systems today on Amazon for 120 to 150 bucks with all kinds of really cool designs at the back, and set yourself up like you're over the big park in Manhattan. I'm brain dead here. I finished training here before Google Hangout. I can't even think of the name of the park in Manhattan. I go to New York all the time. So whatever the name of that big grassy park is, I'll probably think about it later on. So I just want all of you to know I am definitely not perfect. All right, I'm excellent, but I'm not perfect. And my brain lets me down sometimes. So, but you can get some really cool backdrops. I love doing our Google Hangouts here in our international office just for a quick ease and time. And I also love doing them at the Canadian Lake Home because of the backdrop of the forest next to the Canadian Lake Home or the lake on there. So pick something, but pick it so that you've got some allure to yourself. All right, and it's nice. Why I kind of like this place here is because right behind me I have a fireplace, and in the winter when it's cold I can turn it on, and it's got a homey feel to it, and that's what I like. All right, and I don't have to set up a green screen like that. I just got a really cool office, so I show you that. So you can do all kinds of things to set up your own green room. Okay, so let's move on here. The first thing I want to show you, let's go back here. First thing I want to show you here is optimizing your Google Hangout first impression, tips for setting up your Google Hangout video room. All right. You're going to have access to this, so you don't need to read it. If you can't see it, fine, that's okay. It's only a couple of things that I'm going to just take you through here that I want you to be aware of. All right. So first thing I want you to note on that page, and you'll have access to this here very shortly, is you want to make eye contact not with your computer screen, because if I'm looking at my computer screen right now, which I'm doing, notice I'm not making eye contact with you. Now, if you want to kill a conversation or make it look like you are reading on your screen, I'm not reading on my screen, I'm just looking at myself and my bald head. And, by doing that, a lot of people, they get lured into looking at their screen and looking at the person as opposed to now I'm looking at the camera. When I'm looking at the camera, I'm making eye contact with you, right? So that's really important, because a lot of people can kill their influence, kill their credibility by looking at the screen and not looking at the computer. Second thing is having proper lighting. And I've got some not fluorescent lights, but I've got lights around my computer here that allows me for you to be able to see me properly. And the lighting system, we've given you some examples of what you can be doing in the report. All right. So that was the first thing I wanted to highlight to you. Secondly, let's move on to number 2 here. Oops. Let me just come back here. All right. So next, on the next page in the report, I want to just stress the lower third. And the lower third, this is the lower third right here, okay? This graphic here of Lifestyle Entrepreneur Magazine and the link below it is what is referred to in your Google Hangouts as the lower third, and you can bring different graphics up. So if I wanted to replace a graphic, there's in the report that you'll have access to, there's just a really quick setup. How do you leverage the tools in Google Hangouts, really importantly, but I can change my lower third graphic really quickly. All right, moving on the next page in the report is key element number 1. Okay, so there's 5 elements that I want to go through with you here quickly. And first of all is you need a Gmail account. Okay, that's absolutely crucial. And I can't stress to you the importance of making sure that you have a Gmail account so you can leverage all the tools of Google. We use all the suites, all the apps that Google offers, everything from the calendar to Google Calendar to leveraging the power of Google Maps if we're bringing people into the Canadian Lake Home or the Vegas Sandcastle or whatever, to G Drive. And we use G Drive for all of our G Docs and everything, so our company can use them at the same time, update everything as a company. And using G Drive as our iCloud has been short of amazing. You can get as many people as you want on a Google Doc. So you need a Gmail account, and by setting up a Gmail account, then you'll be able to go to your Google account and your plus.google.com account, so your Plus account. Set up your own Google Hangouts, the left side of the screen for public Google Hangouts, the right side of the screen for private Google Hangouts. All right. So I just want to make sure that you know the importance of having a Gmail account. Now, the next concept here. Whoops. I'm sorry. Let me just disappear here for another second. So that's key element number 1 is having a Gmail account. Second one is attend a Google Plus Hangout. All right. So setting up a Google Hangout is really easy. You can do it from the left side of the screen, or you can do it from a right side of the screen, like I said. All right, so we've got details here for you in order to do that. All right, so you want to start experimenting right away by using Google Hangouts. So we use our Google Hangouts all the time. I use them for one-on-one client consults. I use them with my own clients. I set up a private Google Hangout, not on the right side of G+, but we backdoor it, and I'm going to show you that on another one, how to do a private Google Hangout and get it recorded. Really cool. And we use Google Hangouts for broadcasting our media channel. So I'm speaking to you through a Google Hangout. We use Google Hangouts for our team meetings for my company, because not everybody works out of our international office. So that brings everybody together, and just a really powerful way of leveraging technology today. Much better than a webinar. Oh, I'm going to maybe, oh, okay, good, it didn't disappear here. So what I want to point out here on element number 2 is I invite you to make sure that you follow us on what we're doing with our Google Hangouts each week, because you want to, I believe that the number 1 way that we learn is modeling. Modeling is the number 1 way that we learn. So you want to be able to model what other people are doing, and one of the reasons why you're on here, I trust, is to be able to model excellence, not perfection, because it's far from perfect. I couldn't think of the name of the park in New York City, still can't, and I have no idea why. I'm just totally brain dead here today. And all of you are probably like tripping over yourself to tell me the name of the park, and I just, for the life of me, cannot think of it. I can think of all the names of our major parks in Canada, in our own city here. And I just got back from New York City too, not that long ago, and it's just not the great park. It's a big park, I know that. So, anyways, just you want to make sure that you're leveraging your Google Hangouts by getting on a Google Hangout that I do each week, so that you can be at the head of the game, not only in business, but in terms of the tools and systems that I recommend that you use to position high-end programs and services and command maximum fees and royalties for your highest-end programs and services. So inside of the report that we have for you is a section called, and this is key element number 3 of the 5, what's in a Google Hangout. So we've sectioned off here. You can see there's A, B, C, D, E, F. And we've gone through here each of these sections, and I'm not going to go off and spend time here, and with you on all the different elements on a Google Hangout, because we've done that for you. But I do want to make sure that you leverage a couple of tools there. And one of them is the sharing your screen tool, like I do. Okay, I'm just sharing my screen back and forth, showing you what we're doing. A couple of things that I found that work really well. If the picture graphic looks a little bit blurry, it's because I've blown it up for you out of our Google Hangout report. Well, I've taken the actual photo of a page to show you, because it's easier for me to do that and just go through sharing pictures of things, because they're all lined up nicely, than, for example, sharing a PowerPoint, because then I got to show you all my slides ahead of time before I run it into slideshow mode. So I find that with Google Hangouts, leveraging the power of taking, using your snippet tool on your computer and just taking screenshots of things that you want to show is really good from a teaching learning perspective. Okay, so moving on then to element. Let's go here. Let's go to our next element. And the next element is your lower third. And we've gone through here all the steps to set up your lower third graphic, like I showed you. Here is me and showing our manifesto, newgurumodel.com/manifesto. And you really want to leverage the lower third to demonstrate, some of graphics, or if you want to position something that you want to give people access to for downloads, etc. So if I do a custom overlay, and I can go to my lower thirds, there's a link. Once you set up your Google Hangouts, again, we'll show you how to do all of this very easily, but I can just change my lower third. I should be able to, hold on a second here. Let's turn it off first, and then let's change here, so you'll see here. Okay, and then there's the updated graphic of our certification co-branding manifesto, which is the most powerful way to build your own coaching and co-branding program today. Highly, highly strategic, and really help you hit the yellow and the black zones, the competitive zones, which are your money sectors that we've talked about before, in running high-end programs and services, so that you can build an ROIT business, return on invested time. Okay, so I just showed you the updated graphic that we've had for the last 6 months, because so that's how you can change, just really quickly change your lower third graphic. And then if you want to go back and have the previous graphic that you're on, like a picture of our Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine, we can do that easily enough. Okay, and then finally, number 5. And you can get all of your graphics done at Fiverr, Fiverr.com, really easily. And key element number 5, scheduling your own G+ Hangouts on air, HOA Hangouts on air event. And we have a section here on what to do. Just follow the steps. And if you want to, there's a couple of really good videos for you to be able to leverage that will show you what we do, and those links are there, and how we leverage them through interviewing clients, which is really powerful, to running a Google Hangout. This is one that I did on a previous Business Breakthrough Google Hangout with Stephen Rowell. So it's a really powerful way for you to be able to leverage G+. All right, so I went through 5 key elements today on optimizing your Google Hangouts so that you've got full optimization in the next 10 minutes. The report is 17 pages long. You can consume it. It's all just step by step. It's the compilation of probably, with all the Google Hangouts that we've done and the company time that's gone into this, and the recommendations that we make, conservatively, 800 hours we've spent on Google Hangouts, and just to be able to tell you what we showed you. And that's just the tip of the iceberg, if you will, on how we use Google Hangouts. So on another Google Hangout, again, I'm going to show you how to leverage the power of a public Google Hangout, which is the left side of your G+ account, and the right side of a Google Hangout, which is making it private. But remember I said the problem with the private side is you can't get a recording. I'm going to show you how to backdoor and create a private Google Hangout that you can record. So you can use it for internal purposes within your company. Maybe it's a consultation or a consultation method that you're setting up within your company, like I teach clients to do. Maybe it's you've done such it's a session you absolutely love. Like for example, I had an interview, and we're featuring Tom Ante on our next issue of Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine. So I did it as a Google Hangout, and it was set up as a private Google Hangout, so nobody could backdoor themselves into our Google Hangout. It's fully private, and it's recorded, and we got it transcribed for our readers, for the people that are that have the Lifestyle Entrepreneur magazine on their smartphones or their iPads, and we have that video then that we can leverage as well, not just through the transcription. So there's a lot of really cool reasons why, especially increasing your influence, your influential ability, and getting people to know, like, and trust you faster and quicker than what your competitors are doing. And Google Hangouts are a great way of doing that, right? Because it's, in essence, it's just like you and me right now having a one-on-one conversation. I'm coming to you live from our international office in Sarnia, Ontario, Canada, and you're sitting behind your computer wherever it is, and I'm literally just consulting with you right now. I've taken through 5 key elements that you want to be aware of and leverage for your Google Hangouts. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to give you a link for accessing what I showed you. And I'm going to give you the fastest way of accessing this. You and I can exchange contact information, and just text the word Hangout, Hangout, to 248-469-4376. Text the word Hangout, Hangout, to the word or to the number 248-469-4376. All right, and that will allow you to get the report. And let's put it here. You can't get it anywhere else, and that will give you access to the Optimize Your Special Report, Optimize Your Hangout First Impression Tips for Setting Up Your G+ Hangouts Video Room. Okay. So once again, just text the word Hangout, Hangout, all one word, to 248-469-4376, 248-469-43, and that is a 7 there, 7, 6. All right. So I look forward to our next Google Hangout together. Please take the concepts that we covered today and leverage them. Become a lot more influential by not hiding behind an email, or not hiding the way that most people do. Remember we talked about the seamless success, doing what other people don't do, can't do, or wouldn't think of doing. And by the way, optimizing your media room, like I showed you, is especially powerful as well for if you're doing any kind of media work at all, especially in YouTube or in Skype. So principles that I just covered will work very well in both of those mediums as well. So anyways, take these concepts today. Please use them. And I look forward to speaking with you again really soon. And I trust that our paths will cross sooner than later. And for many of you that are watching right now, many of you, our paths will be crossing at the Omega Mind One-Day Business Acceleration Intensive with me at the Canadian Lake Home. And I'm really excited for that. That's on June 9th, and some amazing, amazing entrepreneurs coming from all over the world for that. So I'm honored, privileged, and most importantly, I'm really pumped that my kids are going to be learning from all these amazing entrepreneurs coming in, and they also get to figure out a little bit more of what their old man does. So I'm excited about that. So have a great one, everyone. I look forward to speaking with you again on our next Business Breakthrough Google Hangout.